Welcome to Proficiency Bonus, where the DM is a jackass who just spent the last 3 minutes talking and only his party could hear him.
It sounded very good.
Oh, happy Monday, folks.
Yeah.
I'm Matthew, your mute dungeon master, once more.
Break out the ASL.
You know, next time I will have somebody signing, and they'll be going, "Hey, DM." So anyway, 30-second recap to that, and what I just spent the last 3 minutes talking about. Thank you to Streamlabs, Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice. Before we jump into last time, don't forget to check out, we're less than 24 hours away from Tabletop Legends. They've got a couple of great promos that they went out. Michael streamed a couple of them on Friday night. You can find them on their YouTube channel, on their Facebook, all that fun stuff. Less than 24 hours away. Make sure you stop in tomorrow night and hang out for the stream, because they are giving away a buttload of cool stuff, including the collector's edition box set of the Dungeon Master's Guide, Player's Handbook, and Monster Manual, with the artwork done by, I believe his handle is Hydro74. If you do a search for him online, you can see his artwork. Guy is insane. No, he's not sponsoring or affiliated with us, but his art is just incredible. So definitely check that out. You can see it on there. Yeah, so beyond that, now that this is actually going out in the into the real world, we will jump headfirst into what happened last time, as our party was stuck in rather dire straits, dealing with the unfortunate loss of Quen, Solana's petrification, Solaren being knocked unconscious, and Devanay getting knocked all over the place, and only by the grace of Raz Nasai's aid did it seem that she managed to squeak out, defeating the last few of Fenthasa's loyal servants. As the party then collected their injured, wounded, and deceased and started making their way back, they ran into a solitary goblin that seemed to be sort of wandering Raz Nasai's encampment. And we're actually going to pick up there for a couple of moments, because as we... actually, I'll mention as well, as you guys can no doubt see from our overlay here, Solana is not with us this evening. Sarah's not feeling great, so she couldn't make it. Sarah, we wish you the best and look forward to seeing you next week. But for tonight, we're going to have Solana on Roleplay Light, much like we did Battle last week, which is why we're jumping back to this initial meeting, because we now find ourselves in the Tomb of Annihilation. They've had their terse conversations, given their somewhat rough go with Fenthasa and her minions. Raz Nasai decided to sort of push one of his own people in with the group, as he wasn't overly confident that they could really do much, given how they fared against his own minions. So the group managed to find their way thanks to some, I don't know if I'll say quick thinking or quick fingers from Espartha, putting on a necklace that I believe it was Solana had found. Espartha managed to find the true entrance to the Tomb of the Nine Gods. And that's where we find them now. But first, we'll bring it back to last time. As we are now, Paddle, as you have just sort of turned the corner, and as you look over to your left, back south, towards that same room where you saw the Triceratops a few moments ago, it has now got 6 or 7 Yuan-Ti meandering about in the room. As you turn and start heading north, where it seems to be clear, you get about 15-20 feet, and all of a sudden you see a very heavily armed woman. Blood, just drenched. Most of it's dried at this point, but, hair is got more blood than hair visible, carrying a limp body in her arms, as well as a half man, half serpent the upper humanoid body wrapped completely in bandages, with an unconscious person wrapped in the end of his tail that he's sort of carrying along. As the two conscious people notice you, they both sort of stop for a second and just look.
All right then. Well, it seems like you guys have had quite the evening. He's gonna take a little bit of a closer look at them. They're not like are they armed, or they're just like holding onto these bodies?
As you're looking at them now, they're carrying the bodies. You can see that the Yanti, the bandaged one, does have a sword strapped on his side. The woman, on the other hand, looks like an armory. There's a glaive strapped to her back. There's swords on her side. I mean, this one looks like she could a walking one-man army.
All right, my kind of woman. Sounds good. He's gonna take another look at like all the Yanti in that room, I guess, and he's gonna scoot on by them, I guess.
Well, so from where they are now, you're standing in a hallway.
Yeah.
There's a room to the south, probably about 35 feet down. That's where they're all congregating.
Yeah.
And to the north, about 15 feet in front of you, these ones just turn the corner. So you could run back down into the other room.
No, I want to hide behind them.
Behind the group of them, away from these two?
No, I want to hide behind these two.
Oh. So as you sort of duck behind these two, Devaney, Nasai turns to look at you. One of yours.
I've never seen this one before. I haven't seen a goblin, at least I think that's what it is, in a very long time.
Fine then. Just, you that small one, come with us. There's conversations to be had anyway.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll stick with you guys. I mean, no offense, but you don't exactly look like a threat right now, so I'm pretty sure that I could do some damage. Name's Paddle.
Devaney just raises an eyebrow. I'm not in a mood to be tested right now.
Razdasai just sort of chuckles a little bit. And eventually you guys make your way back over to his throne room and into his personal chambers. Paddle, as you end up in this room, you can see there is one of these brood guard, the sort of animalistic looking Yanti that you played the rope trick on earlier, that were coming in from that south entrance. He's sitting in the corner. He is cut up. He's wounded. Looks like he was just sort of standing guard in the room. You can see the unconscious person's laid down on the right. You see Devaney set down the other person who looks like that person is deceased. And you're all led into this room, and the ground is just covered with coins. Pillows and coins everywhere. Looks like this is his personal chambers. As he sort of looks at the group of you. And to paraphrase a little, because it was a long bit last time, basically Devaney and goes and brings Solana back to consciousness, and there's a conversation as Solana's trying to revive their deceased friend, that they're attempting to go into the Tomb of the Nine Gods to end the death curse that is on this area. As the conversation goes on, he's looking around at the group and sends someone away to bring someone present. He looks at the couple of you that are currently conscious, so Paddle, Devaney, and Solana. Because Solana, I can't remember, I don't think anyone had a healing potion.
No, somebody, I
I
think
think Solana
cast.
threw one. Yeah.
Oh, that's
over her
right. She's sort of.
shoulder.
So yeah, so Solana would be up at this point as well, because
Okay.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
you came back to-
it wasn't a health potion, but a spell.
Yeah, it was like a healing word. Then she just sort of
Yeah, healing word. That yeah.
yeah, get up. So he looks at the group and he says, "Well, if you're going, you are taking one of mine with you." And he looks very pointedly at Devaney. Are you plan on taking this one with you?
I mean, I guess we could have all the help we can get. If they want to come, sure, I guess.
I mean, I'm probably not getting out on my own. It sucks to say, but yeah.
So as you say that, you just sort of see Raz lifts one hand, puts it in front of his mouth a little bit. Fine, then.
Although, I have to warn you, but people that join in with this group tend to not, well, last very long.
Yeah, people that went on scouting missions with me didn't come back either, so I'm alright.
Alright, but you've been warned. The last guy that I had to warn, he didn't last very long either. He got frozen to death. Yeah.
I'll be careful.
Devaney's sit in the corner. I think we had a short rest.
Yeah, you guys had a
Regain some
short
hit
rest.
points.
You were cleaning up, regain some health.
Cleaning blood off of stuff.
So as you guys eventually go out, you have a somewhat terse first night with the group paddle. Spent some time, I believe it was. Oh, my shorthand is atrocious. I think Solaren, you had second watch. No, you had third watch.
Yeah, because I remember we switched at the last minute.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember who Paddle had
Order.
second watch with, but
I think it was Solana.
I think it was Solana because I think she took first and second.
okay.
Yeah, so then I took third.
Okay, that's right, because she can trance.
Yeah.
Spartha wasn't there yet. Okay. So you had a somewhat sort of terse little moment with Solana as the two of you were on watch together. Make your way into the tomb. I've sort of been poking around, saw a weird hiccups. Saw a weird skeleton with a head shaped like a key. As you guys sort of circled around and ended up finding your way down into that room, Devaney ended up getting pulled into a statue chest first, and her chainmail armor rusted right in front of you all. You've now made your way south, and you are in a room with these looked to be dead, desiccated bodies sitting on these thrones. But as you guys walked into the room, you and Solaren entering in, all of a sudden these bodies started to move. First one got chopped up quite efficiently from those behind you, but this is where we pick up tonight's episode with the group of them getting their shot. Oh, and I should say actually that skeleton did not survive the first round of that skeleton was taken out
It was like first to go
very
down.
quickly. You guys were firing off at that, and as you guys went in to collect the head, that's when all the bodies started moving. So we pick up with them as they are coming into you and Solaren, as you guys are the only business in town, so to speak. Let me grab my monster sheet here. Let's see what we are dealing with. Okay. Okay, so these ones are gonna charge. We here. This one over here. Okay, so these guys are all just charging up and circling around you guys. So, Paddle, 2 of them are going to be taking swipes at you, and the other 3 are taking swipes at Solaren. So, Paddle, the first, each one is making, attacks. Let me get this flipped over so I can see it. Okay, first attack is a 10. Something tells me that's not going to hit.
No, that's
Sorry.
Oh no, these first 4 attacks are going at Paddle because they have
Okay.
2 attacks each.
Okay.
So that's a 10 and 8 from the first one,
that tickles.
and then a 7 and a 13.
Oh, tickles.
Okay. And then Solaren, the next 6 are coming at you because you've got 3 around you. So we have 18.
Oh no.
That hits.
Okay, so I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay.
Okay, so you take 7 points of damage, and your maximum hit point total is reduced by 7.
Oof. Okay.
Then a 7.
That will
Next
not
one
hit.
making its 2 attacks. A 17.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 4 points. I need another Constitution save. Okay, that one you're fine. A 19.
Yes.
So that is 9 slashing damage. No save on that one because that's a sword. And then last 2. An 8
No.
and a 15.
Ah, yes.
Okay, and that's another 4 slashing.
Okay.
So is those of you in the back are watching, and you can hear Paddle sort of laughing off at these things trying to swing. But as you're watching, Solaren seems to almost be having the energy just pulled out of his body at one point. And that will bring us over to Solaren.
He's a little bit staggered from that last attack, but he's still standing strong. I'm going to the one directly to Solaren's right.
Okay.
I'm going to target that with Vampiric Touch.
Alrighty then. That'll hit! Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so as you reach out and you touch this and start pulling the energy into yourself, you heal for 4 points of damage. As you can feel that you got a good solid grasp on this as you're pulling the life out, but it just doesn't seem to do as much damage as you expected it to. It's
Okay.
yeah, so you heal for 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Anything else you're doing?
No, that's it.
Okay. So I'll bring us over to Paddle.
Alright, I'm gonna use Zephyr Strike at 2nd level.
Okay.
Um, if I mess stuff up, I'm sorry. I'm new to being a ranger.
Okay, and what is Zephyr Strike?
So costs a bonus action. For the duration, your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. In
Okay.
addition, the first time you make a weapon attack on your turn before the spell ends, make the attack with advantage, and your speed increases by 30 feet.
Ooh, alrighty then.
So I'm gonna, like, nope. Out of here, my dude. And then I am going to see about attacking the one that's kind of in the corner. Not in the corner, but can't seem to. That one.
Okay, so the one basically at the elbow,
Closest
so to
to
speak?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll.
I don't know
Little
how to
bit of-
do this. What do I click?
Okay, so if you're in your character sheet, hold on, let me just grab your character sheet. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so if you're in your character sheet, you go to the core page, which I think I just put you on,
Yep.
and then you'll have a whole bunch of different things right under your hit dice. Unarmed, dagger. At that distance, I'm assuming you're probably using your longbow.
Yes.
So you just click on that longbow +1. And that'll hit. So now if you go over to the chat bar on the right and click the word longbow +1, it'll roll your damage for you automatically.
Okay. And Zephyr Strike adds, or at second level, adds 2d6, I think.
Okay, so then go ahead and roll your 2d6.
Oh my gosh.
That's every little bit helps.
Dang.
Okay.
Can only go up from here.
Okay, and that will bring us over to Solana. Okay. Let's see, what do we think Solana would do?
Use her bow to shoot something.
Let's get that. Just looking to see what she had ready for spells. Looks like she's already used a couple of spells. She's got 2 second-level spells left. Do you think she'd use a moonbeam? Or do you think she'd just shoot?
Daphne would probably yell at her if she tried to do that. But,
I think she might moonbeam.
she probably would.
Okay, and what we'll do is from her standing point, we'll have her go right over everyone's right shoulder and hit the one that Paddle just shot, as well as the one right in front of Solaren. Second level moonbeam. Okay, so okay. So they both need to make Constitution saves. Fail and fail. So they both take 9 points of radiant damage. Okay, and that'll bring us over to Devonay.
Alright, if I moved one square further, could I hit that thing next to Solaren? With my glaive? The glaive?
Yeah, with the,
Or-
yeah, realistically, I'd say because of the way the wall is, you'd have to move closer to hit any of them.
Alright, then I'm gonna go the other way around.
I don't follow what you mean.
Other side. Sorry.
Okay, so as you're running
I'm
past
thinking aloud.
it will get an attack of opportunity as you're passing by the one at the corner.
Oh, okay, so I would be able to reach it then? If I was...
Yeah, so if you go right here, oh, come on, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you
there.
go right there, you can reach the one that's right next to it.
Oh, yeah,
You would
that's
just
what I'd
have to,
like to do.
yeah, you just have to move that one, because where you are, there's no way to get that glaive sort of around the corner.
Right, yeah, I
standing
meant
at the
move
corner.
forward one, and
Yeah.
then hit.
Yeah,
Sorry
you can
if I
definitely
wasn't
hit it from there. Realistically,
Alright.
from that spot, you could hit any one of them with the glaive.
True enough, but I don't want to skewer to Solaren.
Why not?
He already was unconscious once already. Yeah, could it reach out and touch that guy, or just glaive?
The one right around the corner?
Yeah,
Anything you can do. He's within range of you.
vision 5 feet. All right, I'm going to reach out and try to shocking grasp him,
Oh,
and
okay.
then follow up with a glaive attack.
Okay, so the shocking grasp unfortunately isn't going to hit. As you sort of reach around and you feel the charge leaving your hand, it seems like you can just barely pull out of range. And
Dang.
glaive misses wide as well. He seems to just be moving a little bit too much for you to get a good strike on him at this
Alright.
point.
That is my turn.
Okay, so that'll bring us up to Aspartha.
All right. So Sparta is disgusted by these things. She is going to.
Just a goblet. No, I'm just kidding.
She'll deal with you later. Right now she'll loose another longbow attack against this baddie right here in front of Solarin.
Oh, okay.
She'll
That'll definitely
say-
hit. So go ahead and roll some damage.
She'll say, "Move it," and
And do a significant amount of damage. Solarian, you notice that all of a sudden, you didn't even hear it coming. All of a sudden, you just hear a slight, as there is now an arrow embedded in the neck of this creature in front of you. And you can watch it. Definitely seems to be taking a significant amount of damage. That will bring us back to them. And they are not the brightest creatures. They are just going to close in and go after Solarin. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click down the five of one attack and 5 of the other. Just go right down.
Okay.
So the first is the life drain, so I'll see if any of those hit. 21,
Yes.
23,
Yeah.
9,
No.
14,
Yes, meets it. So,
okay, and 17.
yeah.
So I need 4 constitution saves from you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Okay, so it's only the first 2 that you fail. So you take a grand total of 25 points of necrotic damage. And your total hit points are decreased by 12.
Okay.
And then you have 5 longsword attacks coming at you for their second attack each.
All right.
7, 21, 13, 7, 14. I think only 2 of those are going to hit. So that's a total of 7 points of damage.
Okay.
You said a 14 meets it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yes, that's 7 points of slashing damage. And you are up.
All right. Still standing. Gosh. So let me see. If I So if I use minor illusion to create a distraction behind them, would I be able to escape without being open to an attack of opportunity?
So now, what are you trying to create as your distraction?
Just a huge roar behind them.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have them make a check for this and see whether or not they
Okay.
buy into it. So let's see here. It's an intelligence check, which they're not great at. What's your spell save DC?
Let me check. 16.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to have them all make a check and see whether or not they're convinced enough to turn around.
Okay.
Okay. First one is. Second is not. Third definitely is. Fourth is.
oh,
Alright.
Fifth is.
Okay.
So as you turn, 5 of them turn and look. One of them is still got their eyes locked on you, though.
Yeah, so I will just use this opportunity to flee And
Okay. So as you start running away, it's going to take a swipe at you as you go. And that's a 19 to hit.
yes.
So I need another Constitution save. So that is 8 points of necrotic damage, and your total maximum hit points are reduced by 8 as well.
All right. Let me do some math here.
Oh, and I am just going to put a red dot on. That's hard to see. Blue dot on the one that was not fooled.
Okay.
So that's the only one that actively knows where you just ran off to.
Okay.
Not that it would be able to get through everybody else to get to you. But
Right.
and that'll bring us over to Paddle. Well, Paddle, you just watched as Solarin, taking a cue from you, you heard a massive roar come from just empty space beside you, and then he noped back up the pathway, the hallway you guys came out of.
Alright, he looks beside him and sees nothing there, and so he kind of figures it out, sorta. I'm going to break concentration on the last spell.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to use Hail of Thorns since they're tightly grouped.
Alrighty then. I believe that is a
Bonus action.
yeah. So you have to. That affects your bow shot, right?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and make your attack roll. And which one are you actually shooting at?
So it affects creature and I think it says like up to 3 creatures within 5 feet.
Well,
So I'm gonna be
it's not up to 3. It's just any
All?
creature within 5 feet of it.
okay. So I'm gonna attack the one with the blue dot on it. Sorry. Still click.
Okay. So that'll hit. So go ahead and roll your damage on that one. Okay, so that is 11 points, and then go ahead and roll your. Let's see here. Additional 1. Oh, then they have to make a dexterity save.
Yep.
What is your spell DC?
That's a good question.
8 plus
14.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so dexterity. So there's 2 of them within 5 feet of it. First one makes it. Second one.
Go!
makes it. So they
Okay.
take half damage. So go ahead and roll your.
It's a D10.
Oh, and I forgot. Give me a second here. Where is? Two con saves because they started their turn in. Okay. So that is actually enough because I forgot to roll for their starting their turn in Moonbeam. That's enough to take out one of them. So that's half of that is. So the other one is. Oh, hey, why do you have a red counter on you? Okay, there we go, and this one. So he takes. Okay. There we go. Anything else you're doing?
If I can spend any movement just backing into a corner.
You've got a couple of spots you can back into.
Alright.
Okay. And that'll bring us back over to Solana, who is currently concentrating on Moonbeam that is now hitting one of the two individuals as the other one has fallen.
Can Solana move the moonbeam to hit more people?
Yeah, she could move it over to this corner here. It would end up hitting 3.
That sounds like a good deal.
Okay, so let me see. What do I have that I can use for a quick moonbeam? Is that a moonbeam in it? Not really, so we're just gonna make it up. Prismatic orb, because why not? So it's not quite as large as that, but this way we know right where it is. So let me just check Moonbeam. I think it's on the creature's turn when she moves it over. I just want to make sure here. Okay, when a creature enters on a turn or starts it, no, when it enters its first turn. So okay, 2 of those creatures are going to end up needing to make Constitution saves. Do me a favor, Devanay, roll 2d10 for me. Okay, and actually that was a really bad idea because now I can't click on the tokens to do that. So we're just going to get rid of that and we're just going to remember it's there.
I know before we were just drawing a little tiny box. Or Solana was.
Right, and that way she could click it and it wouldn't be, when I clicked on the tokens, it wasn't selecting
I
it.
see.
But if I do it, it'll print over the tokens, it'll select that first.
I'm not sure how to draw a box. I can't help you.
Yeah, no worries. Well, just remember it's in that corner cooking these 3 of them. So one of them's already taken damage from it this turn, which is why it's not making a save. It won't do it again until its turn. So that
Is that
brings
a
us
bonus
to... Oh,
bonus
okay.
action for her to move it?
No, it's an action to control it.
It's an action.
Yeah, we
Okay.
found that out the hard way.
No, I didn't remember.
No, we
Alright.
found it out on Friday, and that's why
Oh.
Solana's been careful with it. We've been running it as a bonus action for Lord knows how long, and then all of a sudden it's like, it says action here. Whoops. Okay, so that's her action. She's got bonus action and movement. I don't
not
think
sure
she'd be
if he
overly
has-
excited to run into the room.
No. If it's my turn, I'm
Yep, and
going
after
to
that,
dig
then
out,
it brings to you.
dig out ye old cone of cold, and I think I can get those 3 guys in that corner there.
Yeah,
Or
you
would I
can
have
get
to-
those 3. Hold on, we got to. Yeah, you could angle it and get those 3 in the corner and avoid para.
Yeah.
Or avoid paddle, or you could back up 5 feet and get all of them.
Well, I was going to back up anyway.
If you
As
back
long as
up,
I
you're going to
don't-
be basically blasting forward, but you're going to be filling that room.
Right, I don't want to hit paddle.
Yeah, then you'd be better off staying where you are and sort of angling it towards the window.
Right, so yeah, that's what I will do is hit those
Okay.
3.
So go ahead and make your roll.
Oh!
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
So you are not even rolling for. Let's see. Okay, the rest of them I gotta roll for. So Constitution saves, fail and save. Okay. So. Okay, so is this massive? And pal, this is your first time seeing this individual do this. As she reaches out, and this massive, just blast of cold energy slams forward, You watch as one of these creatures is now just solidified in crystalline ice. The other two are covered with little icicles hanging in the decaying hair, little bits of frost and snow on what remains of their armor. The glass window is just a sheet of ice. And as you watch as this blast on the wall travels along the wall and then turns towards you, the room you are standing in is now a good 20 to 30 degrees colder than it was
Ooh.
3 seconds ago.
Okay, alright. This is good.
Tiffany looks. Oh, right. Sorry. Colder.
It doesn't seem to bother her at all.
Makes me feel alive. It's alright.
Like jumping into a cold lake.
Anything else you'd be doing?
Well, dozen. 6 of one, half dozen of the other, really. Because if I move backwards, they're gonna get attacks, but then if I move backwards, I'm still gonna get attacked by one guy at least, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna hop backwards.
Okay. So as you jump back, there's actually 2 of them that did not get a chance to react when Solarin ran away, so they're both going to take a swipe at you.
Right.
First one is an 8.
Nope.
Second one is a 19.
Definitely.
So that's 5 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. So on top of that 5 points of necrotic damage, your maximum hit point total is reduced by 5.
Not doing so good on these rolls here.
Oh, these saves are starting to take their toll on, well, specifically on Solarin, but
Yeah.
and that
More
brings us to
batteries back here.
Espartha, who has just watched Devaney take a hop back, and again, much like you saw with Solarin, as she runs back, it almost seems like you can see just the life being pulled from her body.
Yeah, and Espartha did see Devaney conjure her cone of cold.
Yep.
So upon seeing this, Espartha wordlessly licks her lips and will take note of Devaney's mysterious strength. And with that, she'll hold out a finger and will attempt to unleash a firebolt, but will, just kind of, she's not really caring. She's over this battle. She's saving face.
So
Right
as
now.
Devaney, the cold doesn't bother you, but you do feel a little bit of warmth as this strange little bolt of flame sort of trails over your head and slams into the wall in the distance.
Sorry.
That will bring us on to these individuals. I'm just going to start removing some of these so we can move a little easier around here. So, okay, let's see here. We're going to let fate decide who is charging in first. Okay. So, this one is lucky number that gets to charge in after you, Devaney. The other two, seeing as they can't get in, are going to turn around and come charging over to the only other quarry that they can reach. Okay, so the first one is going to make its 2 attacks against you, Devaney. That is a 11
No.
and a 19.
Yes.
That's 5 slashing damage. And then Paddle, we've got 2 coming at you. 14.
Nope.
A 7 for the other life drain from the second one. Then the 2 longsword attacks. A 16
Yes.
and a 6. You take 3 points of slashing damage.
At least I'm not the only one rolling bad.
Oh, it seems like they're only rolling well when Solarin's in the room. Hey, Solarin, come on back down here.
No, thank you. I'll stay
That's
way
alright.
back here.
Speaking of Solaren, that brings us back to him.
All right. So can Solaren target this shambler without hitting the other members of the party?
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. You throw in a fireball or a lightning bolt, not really, but what you're trying to do, and you should be able to.
I'm gonna try and target it with Eldritch Blast.
Oh yeah, you should have no problem with that.
Okay.
That's your bread and butter, so.
Yeah. Okay.
And you managed to make contact. Go ahead and roll some damage. And that is enough as it slams into it, and you watch as the body is knocked back and just falls to the ground.
Okay. That's all I see.
Anything else you'd be doing?
No, that's the only one I see. So
Yeah, it's the only one you can.
I'm
only
not
one you can see
feeling-
from there.
yeah, I'm not feeling too inclined to move from where I am right now. So just gonna
Okay.
stay put.
So that'll bring us over to Paddle then, who is currently facing two of these creatures.
All right, cool. How do you work drawing another weapon?
It's free action.
Reaction.
Yeah, I mean, dealing with Devaney, it's sword one,
Yeah.
sword two, sword three, sword nine.
Even before I got the feat that allowed me to cast with hands full, I was casting with hands full.
Yeah,
Really.
it's one of those. It's realistically, from the way I view it is, you've been doing this for a little bit. It's easy enough if I had my bow out, I'm just gonna reach down, grab my sword, and or my dagger, whatever you're dealing with. Now, granted, you
Okay.
want to run across the room, pick something off that's on a shelf, and wield that. That's an action. But if it's on your body, you've got it set up so you can just grab it quick.
Okay. Well, in that case, I do have a hand axe on me, and I'm going to use that and just attack the one that's immediately in front of me.
Oh, okay. So the one to the side or the diagonal?
Side.
Oh, okay. Swing away.
Okay, let's try this. Dang.
Okay, unfortunately, as you swing back, it seems to just glances off the side of the sort of matted leather armor. Doesn't seem to get purchase on it.
Okay, cool. I don't know what else to do. Do I have an extra attack at this level?
I'll be honest, I don't
forget.
know. I don't ranger.
Me neither.
Check.
Yes, I do.
Alrighty then.
I get one at 5th level, so I'm gonna try that one more time. Come on. Dang.
Okay, apparently you... Let me just make sure that's rolling properly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it looks to be. Okay, yeah, so once more as you go through it, just throws that same shoulder pad out, and it again just seems to glance off the side of it.
Alright.
Okay, and that will bring us back over to Solana, who is going to take a couple of steps forward and then slam that moonbeam right into the back of these two. With the spell, it might as well keep it working for. Devaney, can you do me a favor? Roll 2d10. They're going to make con saves. They're both going to save, but still take some damage from it. And then do me a favor, roll another d10 because I forgot to have him roll again. Okay, so first one. Come on, system. Okay, and then for the one that was still over there, that one fails, so. Okay, there we go. Okay, so she's moved that, and she is just going to finish her movement, move over into the far corner to leave you guys an open path. That'll bring us to Devaney.
Devaney is going to run into the room as she doesn't like the situation in there. I think I can make it all the way over.
Yeah, it's 30 foot of movement right next to this one, and you'd be able to reach both. Yeah, that's only
Where'd the
25
moonbeam
technically.
end up?
Oh, yeah,
I don't
moon-
want to run into this.
Fair enough. So yeah, it's still where you are then.
Yeah, okay.
Dean was trying
Yeah,
to cook
so-
you. Good catch.
And I'm going to, since I have my glaive at hand, I'm going to try the shotgun grasp and glaive thing again.
Okay, both attacks going on the same one right in front of you.
Yes.
Okay, and fire away.
It's
That
just-
hits because you're flanking.
Really? Oh, great. Okay.
I was like, no, oh wait, no, technically flanking with battle, that counts.
I'll take it.
Okay, so go ahead and roll some damage. Oh, not bad. Paddles, all of a sudden you watch as this human armory comes charging up, and with one hand out, you watch as this burst of electricity starts dancing over this thing's body.
He's just like, ah, ah. Yeah, it's good.
Human armory minus the armor.
Fair enough, I keep forgetting about that.
So still alive or
Oh no,
on
it's still on its
their
feet. It's looking pretty rough, but as you
no.
come down with the glaive and just swing it, and as its body is sort of jerking from the shock as you're swinging down, it just happens to jerk and sail right past it.
Guess Tuala's luck is rubbing off on me finally.
That will bring us back
That's my turn.
to Spartha, who has just watched Solana run into the room and go one direction, Devaney run into the room go the other direction.
As this side does not pay me enough for this. So she's gonna walk into the room, avoiding the moonbeam.
Well, the moonbeam's down here now, just
Okay.
outside of these two, so it's not hitting Paddle or Devaney.
Yeah.
Solana's been moving it around to just sort of keep slamming it into these creatures rather than...
And I'm gonna... So, do any attacks against a flanked creature, give it advantage, or do you have to be one of the things flanking it to get
You would have to be one of the things flanking it, but depending on... Well, let me look, what was your subclass for... Because I think if you... You're talking about for a sneak attack, right?
I'm talking about to get advantage. I would have advantage no matter what because they're right next to anybody.
Right,
Or
so,
not-
well, you wouldn't have
sorry,
advantage,
get
but you'd
sneak
get sneak attack automatically, right?
Yeah, I'd get sneak attack. So I'll just longbow this ugly one here.
Okay, so that is enough to hit it. So go ahead and roll up some damage. Okay, and your sneak attack. And that is enough as... Devaney, much like Solana heard, you hear that little of an arrow flying right next to your head, and as it sinks into the back of this thing's skull, you watch as it just falls and collapses to the ground.
Aha, you're welcome.
Good shot.
Oh, and of course, that was the one that I rolled initiative on. Luckily, I remember it's a 13, so it is their go. And this one right in front of Paddle is going to keep swinging at Paddle. Its first attack is a 22.
Yeah.
So that's 6 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to make a Constitution save for me.
Okay.
Okay, so you take 6 points of necrotic damage, and that is it. Then its second attack with its longsword is an epic failure, as it manages to try to pull some of the life out of you, as it doesn't seem to be able to, it just wildly swings with the sword and misses. And that brings us to Solaren, who is currently all alone in the hallway watching all of his compatriots flee into the room to the south.
Yeah, so first thing, Solaren is being a bit of a dummy, and I haven't been using that, but can I use that now from the last one I took down to get temporary hit points?
Huh. First one when reducing hostile to 0. Yeah,
Is that
sure.
okay? So I'll add that to my temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, Slarin, he hears lightning crackling up in the chamber and sees everyone rushing inside, but he's still in self-preservation mode here, so he's just gonna hang back still.
Okay. Are you preparing an action, or are you just...
I will actually cast Blade Ward, just to be safe.
Alrighty then.
Find it.
While you're looking at that, click it in there. We'll jump over to paddle then.
There we go.
Well, seeing as I'm still at a disadvantage for like longbow stuff, I'm gonna.
Oh, actually, give me a second. You may not be... Devaney, do me a favor. Roll 2d10.
Right.
Because it took its turn, and... So it fails. Not enough to kill it, so its damage still hangs. As you're looking at this thing, though, Paddle, you can tell it is literally standing on its last legs. It's just looking really rough. That's saying something for a corpse.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna try and go at it again with the hand axe.
Okay.
You know, maybe like above a 10. No. All right. Let's try this. Oh, thank.
So that'll hit. Go ahead and... Actually,
Gee.
you don't even need to roll because of how much health it has left on it. So, and thank you very much, Nerfed Rogue Royal Guard, for joining along with us here. But Paddle, why don't you go ahead and tell us what this looks like as you manage to end this creature?
Oh man, he's just trying to hit it. He's dancing around, which he doesn't do much. He's in a corner. It was a bad idea. So he just happens to, I guess, like, just catch it at an angle or something, and it just crumples.
Okay.
And then he kicks it just to make sure that it's dead.
And with
Again.
that, as this creature falls to the ground, you guys are out of initiative.
Well, that was fun. I was careful.
Solana, could you please dispel your moonbeam?
Yeah, it's a lot of concentration on that now that the battle has ended.
As well as the roar, too. That was concentration, so.
Yeah, and isn't that only didn't only last one action, or is that?
I think it was a minute, so it
I
probably
don't
fell
use my
already,
knowledge.
but.
Okay, so as you guys are sort of looking around the room, just to refresh everyone what you're actually looking at from last time when you looked through the window, other than it now being slightly frostier as half the room is covered in ice and snow, this vaulted tomb is covered with an overgrowth of moss and different creeping vines along the walls. In the middle of the room, you see a large stone sarcophagus resting on a slightly stepped dais. On the wall behind you, a couple of feet north of Paddle, you see with more clarity those two large statues that you could barely make out through the somewhat dirty window are two large bears. Grasping between them, a 5-foot circular bronze disc embossed with dozens of glaring eyes. What is the
Stephanie's
party
gonna go take a look over at this key skull thing, which is the reason we came in here in the first place.
Okay. As you walk over, it literally looks like a skeleton. You guys have fought skeletons in many of the places you've been in since you've been wandering around in Chult. The only difference is that its actual skull is shaped like a key.
Is it the same size as a skull?
Yeah,
Like-
it's literally like a humanoid skull that is just part of it has been extended into a carved key-like shape.
The Divinee's gonna pick up the skull. Look at it. I guess we should take this with us since that's why we came in here.
So, Devaney, in your in your item journal, make sure you put down triangle skull key.
Okay. Anything else we want to do in here?
The bear statues. Did you say that was part of the sarcophagus, or that was elsewhere?
No, so the sarcophagus is this altar-looking thing right in front of you.
Okay.
The bear statues are over here with the large bronze disc between them.
Okay. So Solaren will approach the sarcophagus and just investigate it.
Oh, okay. So
Spartan, step back.
as you look at it, you can see there's a clear sort of break around the sarcophagus. Looks like if you give it enough of a shove, you should be able to open it.
This is
What do you
the
think,
tomb of the
Diviney,
mad
Paddle?
gods.
Yeah, maybe.
Does that mean there's a god in there?
Can I? Do I detect any magic in the
So-
sarcophagus?
So that actually shows you everything lighting up within. So as you're looking, as you see immediately, you get a. Let me see here where. Okay, you're getting a small glow from within the sarcophagus. That the glow is telling you it is a abjuration magic. You're getting a very strong glow from your left from the bronze disc of divination magic. You're also getting a glow from every single one of the desiccated corpses. It seems to be that they all have something covering their face. It's giving the same sort of glow as you're getting from within the sarcophagus.
Are you seeing anything useful?
So there's within the sarcophagus. It's glowing. I can sense abjuration magic, and it's the same. Seems to be the same magic that's animating these corpses.
Well, no, you would know that when you're looking at the corpses,
Mm-hmm.
it is specifically something sitting on their face. It's not the corpse itself.
Okay, it's all right.
If you take a couple seconds, look at the corpse, you can see it's wearing what looks to be a paper mache mask.
Okay, so I'll remove one of the masks from one of the corpses in the room. If
You now have a paper mache mask. It's like taking off a child's Halloween mask.
okay.
How many zombie corpses are there?
A total of 6 of them around the room.
And how many eyes are in the dome circle?
As you look at you can see that there are at least a dozen eyes within there.
Dozen.
And as you're looking at them, all of a sudden they move.
Like blinking move, or they move on the
Like-
face of the
Like
disc?
blinking, and like you watch the
Goggling.
pupils in the eyes, and they're scanning the room.
Ah.
I will put the paper mache mask. Can I put it over one of the sets of eyes?
No, think of
Or
it
it's
basically like a massive disc, and it's just
Okay,
got
so it wouldn't
eyes
really-
on it.
Okay, I couldn't really.
Devaney's gonna start looking at the things we killed and seeing if any of them have a usable set of armor. She could
Okay.
use.
So as you're, let me see what they are. So as you're looking at it, all of them have on. It's a little rotted and foul smelling, but you do find 6 sets of studded leather armor.
And she's gonna
I want to
pick
say
off
didn't.
the least gross one. Not put it. Well, I don't know if she'd put it on just yet, but she'd definitely start taking it off the thing. And then she'd look up. Well, if we want to remove that, I can help.
And then, real quick, I believe Solana mentioned last time, you guys do have splint mail in the Fabio of Holding, if that's something Devaney was interested in. I can't remember if
Yes.
Solana said that or not, though.
We have a set of human and a set of dwarf.
I remember somebody brought it up last week, so just reminding. So, Paddle, what would you be doing as your...
Would I be seeing these eyes move?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Anybody who walks over and takes a look at it for more than a couple of seconds, you notice the eyes moving around.
Can I poke one of them?
Sure. So you reach up and you just sort of reach up and poke it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to react. It feels hard and metallic to you,
Oh,
but
Alright,
it's still turning and looking.
I'm gonna kind of scoot out of its line of sight. It's freaking me out. Don't like that. Ugh. Actually, are there any? You said there was moss and vines.
Yep.
Are there any flowering plants, or no? Just moss and vines.
No, it's all moss and vines. It's a lot of it that's grown in here is stuff you'd expect to see that can survive in no light conditions.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's all for now, I guess. I don't know.
Anyone else?
Solarin, if you want, I can maybe try to find out what that mask is.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if we should open this sarcophagus or not. Because it seems the magic on the masks is the same magic that I'm detecting in the sarcophagus.
You have this fancy new spell. Unfortunately, I had to say goodbye to Volta to get it, but
Oh,
I can always get him back later.
okay. So I hand Devaney the mask.
Devaney is going to plop herself down on the ground and start turning this mask over in her hands for about 10 minutes or so.
Okay, so is Devaney seems to be, I'm assuming, ritual.
Yes.
So is those of you with any sort of arcane bent at all immediately notice that Devaney seems to be casting some sort of ritual on one of these paper mache masks. Is there anything anyone else would be doing in the next 10 minutes? Just sort of hanging around, waiting for her to finish up?
I'll just take a step back until she's done studying it.
Oh, okay.
Well, if he took off one of the masks, I want one.
Oh, okay. Easy enough. Still, you pick one up and come again. Just sort of like taking a mask off a trick or treater. Slides right off, and now you have paper mache mask. Devaney, as you spend 10 minutes with this, eventually your mind starts pulling this information in from the mask. The mask is tied to the sarcophagus. One who wears the mask has the ability to open the sarcophagus to claim what is within.
So the light bulb sort of goes off over Tiffany's head. Oh, I know what this does. She'll stand up and put the mask on her face. Does she see anything different, or is it just...
You don't see anything different, but you, given what you know if you were to try to open the sarcophagus now, you should be able to.
Alright, I'm gonna step over and put my fingers in the crack around the where the lid meets the body and try to lift it.
Okay, so go ahead and make an athletics check for me. So you guys are all watching as Devaney slides this mask over her face.
Now I rolled a
And-
20.
And Esparta and Celerin, I need dexterity checks. As Devaney puts a finger underneath and Hulk flips this like it was a toy car in your direction. Okay, Esparta's fine.
Sorry!
Nope,
I
Esparta's
had
fine.
evasion.
Oh wait, a check or I did a saving throw.
Oh, 6-1. So either way, even if your check is lower than a 2, you're still well over the 10.
Okay.
So you guys are both managed to just skitter out of the way as it slams into the wall. Devaney, as you look down, you see within. Let me jump back over here. As you sort of peer down into the sarcophagus, you see bones of a small, looks to be a bear-like creature in the sarcophagus, laying in a dusty pile. Sitting on top of right on top of the sternum of the bones is a small golden ring.
Hey, Celerin, this must be the thing you saw glowing inside, and I'll reach down inside and pick up the ring and hold it on my palm.
As you reach down and pick up the ring,
Uh-oh.
all of you looking
Oh no.
towards Devaney watch as the bones Devaney, you see this and Celerin sees it walking up. The bones within immediately turn to ash and dust as the dust swirls up into the shape of a small, feral, bear-like creature. And with a bellowing, flies into Devaney's chest.
Tiffany's probably surprised, so she inhales all the dust.
Devaney, I need you to make a... Give me a second, I'm going to see. I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
That was cool.
If this thing tries to take over my mind, well, I already got somebody in there, so they might have to fight it out.
They're gonna fight it out first. Who's gonna fight?
Oh no.
Alrighty then. So now I have to go over here. Let me see. I actually don't have it on there, so give me a second. I have to grab something for Devaney real quick. There we are. Okay, so Devaney, you now pull this up so our people at home can see this as we are sharing this with Devaney. Okay, Devaney, in your journal now, you're going to see a new handout. As unbeknownst to your party, you have now been possessed by Obolaka.
That's cool. Okay.
So, as this happens, the rest of you watch as this dusty, bear-appearing ghost slams into Devonay's body and then just vanishes.
I'm gonna just sort of shrug, sneeze, and just sort of stick the ring on my thumb just to keep it there for now. Not really paying attention to exactly what it is yet.
Solana will sort of look over. You okay?
Yeah, just some dust. Just some dust.
Are you sure that that's all? That looked like it was pretty intense.
It just sort of rose up and then disappeared.
Yes, are you feeling okay? And I want to insight check Devonay's answer.
Okay. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh.
Devonay, are you trying to hide anything from them?
Not really. I just sort of feel kind of weird. Like I inhaled a bunch of dust. Nothing's really happened yet.
Yes, there is a lot of dust in this room. I suggest we leave it as soon as we found it.
Good to me. Nothing.
Yeah, we got the key. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, so where are you guys heading off to?
I'm going to stuff the studded leather in the bag of holding before we leave this room.
Oh,
Just
okay.
for if we need it later. Yeah, where do you guys want to go? We got the skull key.
Seems like there is one other way to go. Same way we came.
I mean, there could be secret doors everywhere, but I think the way we came is probably the easiest. Although I don't really relish going back into that room that ate my armor, but
Is this glass shattered now? Is that
Nope,
like window?
it's got a good like inch-and-a-half coating of ice on front of it between you and
Oh,
the glass.
okay.
it's a really nice temperature in here, don't you think?
The rest of you are standing outside in a Canadian winter in shorts and flip-flops. It's cold.
Well, unless we want to check for hidden doors before we leave, it looks like there's only one way out.
I mean, is there anything underneath? Or, I guess, not underneath anymore. He's gonna look inside the sarcophagus and, like, stamp his foot in the, like, bottom of it.
Just sounds like you're hitting solid ground, doesn't?
Oh. I don't. I'm good at hiding, not at finding things.
Well, then I guess we just go out. And do we want to go? I think there was a hallway across the way from here. And then otherwise it's back the way we came. And down into that room with all those. What were they?
Gargoyles, I think.
Gargoyles, that's the word, thank you. Or down the sewer. There was that too. Any preferences?
I'll take a quick look around the room, feeling the walls and investigating just to see if there's any hidden doors that I can find.
Oh, okay. So as you're searching around the room, don't seem to find anything.
Yeah, there's nothing that I can see. I guess let's just head out the way we came in.
Alright, why don't we go across the hall and see what's there? Somewhere new. Might not be a good idea, but...
So as you guys start making your way past the seat again and back through the secret door, back into that hallway again, Devney being very mindful now of the...
She's definitely letting somebody else go first.
And Solaren is thinking the same thing. Not too anxious to get out front.
So Sultan and Solana, being the somewhat brash one, just walks out in front and doesn't seem to have any problems. Makes it across and towards the other room.
Right then.
So everyone seems to be moving through.
Stephanie stops at the entrance, sort of looks both ways, looks at the statue, and then runs across the room.
As you
Like
run,
she's-
you feel a very slight pull on all of the different metal weapons you have on you. But it doesn't seem to be enough. It seems like it was just the metal armor that really gave it the pull to really yank you off your feet. But as you
She's
all
nice.
come charging into this room, all of a sudden you see that there is a large fountain crusted with moss rising in the middle of the circular room. 3 marble maidens stand in the fountain holding pitchers out of which clear water is flowing.
All right. Nice water feature.
Devonay, as you walk in the back of your mind, you hear, "It doesn't feel right. You shouldn't drink this."
And guys, I don't think that water's safe. I don't think we should drink this. Just look at it. Maybe not even touch it.
I mean, sure. All right.
Solaren will use Eldritch Sight again
Oh, okay.
on the water just to see.
Well, as you're looking around, because Detect Magic will show you everything in the area, you see that the fountain radiates transmutation magic.
Can I don't know how you want to work this, but like I have that hive with me.
Yep.
Would I be able to just like point one of like get one of the bees to just kind of like go over there and take a nice sippy sip?
Sure. But just make sure you mark down, because I know you have a finite number that are in that hive when we rolled it up for you.
Yes.
So go ahead and do me a favor. Roll a d4.
Okay.
Okay. So, as you watch, is Paddle takes a couple of moments, and you see pulls out a small, what looks to be a beehive. And as one lonely bee sort of buzzes out and sort of buzzes around, paddle a little bit, and around the room, flips over by you guys a little bit. And after a
Solarian
couple of
kind
seconds, darts over and seems to sip some of the water. And then you watch as turns to dust and just fades away.
All right. Well, let's. Suspicions
Not drink
confirmed.
the water.
Yeah.
And
He
with
kinda
that,
like-
I think that's a perfect spot for us to take our break this evening, as we have just watched a small insect
Jerry, no.
explode into dust. So thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back probably about 5-7 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark, as we take care of some business, get ourselves some drinks and whatnot. Don't forget, as we mentioned earlier, Tabletop Legends is tomorrow. We are less than 24 hours away from their launch. Great prizes, insane cast, insane DM. You'll remember Tuala. So it's going to be a good time. Make sure you swing by, and we'll be back shortly. as we continue along. Where we last left off is our party has just witnessed the dusty, explosive death of Jerry the Bee. Memorial services will be held on Thursday, sometime after Mystic Hour.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
And with that, if we jump back into our party, who has just been exploring a apparently deadly pool of water. So where is the party off to next?
I guess we have to go back the way we came, through the room.
You're not gonna check for just secret things in here? Or...
I mean, I guess we could.
Yeah. Yeah, Solaren will check around again.
Oh, okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh.
Can I do one
Devonay
as well?
doesn't think you're doing a very good job. She's gonna give it a go.
Solaren
You
trips
are
over a
staring
tree.
at that pool of death water, and it's just creeping you out, man. Devonay, as you're watching Solaren stare at the death water, you go around there, and there is not a thing besides that pool in this room.
I don't see anything. I guess we gotta go back out.
What a stupid room.
I mean, it's pretty.
My bees would disagree.
True enough. I'm sorry about your bee.
Sorry, we got a couple more.
So you guys make your way back to the restroom and heading all the way back out to that sort of grand entranceway. I guess I'll call it the grand chamber with the stairwell.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or you can go further if
Not
you like,
really
back to the
anywhere else
entranceway.
to go. Well, if we're not going to go down the sewer grate, we kind of have to go down these stairs or jump off the edge.
So you can see there are stairs leading down there. There are also hallways leading off to the north and to the east on the other side of the room that you guys can get to by walking around the perimeter of the room. It does appear that there's more still within this area.
What is across this stairwell?
I wanted to go north through that other room before.
Well, you lead
But
and
if
I
you
will
want to go
follow.
that way, that's fine too. I'm going to keep an eye out for traps and things as we go around this other way, I guess, since we haven't walked here before.
Oh, okay, so go ahead and make an investigation check. Looks to be perfectly safe.
Okay. Is
Not a
this the
trap
way
as
we're
far
going?
as the Devonay can see.
Is this the way we're going?
Yes.
Alright, I'll stop about there, wait for everybody to...
Oh, okay. Oh, and sorry, Paddle, I forgot you weren't here. You can ignore that little individual that's hanging out down there. He was
Okay.
watching you. He was watching Espartha, I believe, was the one who was looking over the railing. Last week, he was down on the second floor ledge, just looking up as Espartha sort of peered out, looking down. Then, as the eyes came back up, they made eye contact and it went booking down the hallway.
All right.
Okay, so Devonay, as you get to that point and you're looking, To your right, you can see down the end of the hallway, there's a giant stone skull, similar to the one you saw of the bearded devil, sort of embossed into the wall. As you're looking at it, though, a small flicker of flame flickers within each eye socket. And as you look at it a little closer, you can see, while the mouth is completely wide open, you can see straight through into the room beyond it.
Is it just like fire? Like, do I think it's a normal fire, or do I think it's a magical sort of?
It's hard to say from that distance.
Okay. Why doesn't somebody go check that out? I think I can see through the next room.
What do you see?
Oh, it's a face and a mouth, and I can see through the mouth. I'll keep a watch here, you guys. Somebody should go take a look.
After a couple of minutes, if no one volunteers... Well, actually, would Solana volunteer or no?
She might, because Devine asked her
might.
to.
Oh, okay.
But
So Solana will walk down, take a look through, take a good close look at the jaws. Looks to be large enough for a person to climb through. As she's looking in, she can see within the room there are skulls crusted with dried mud from different niches and spots carved into the walls. Then, in the middle of it, a stone sarcophagus stands at the center of the chamber. Its lid adorned with a coiled serpent. Behind the sarcophagus, resting atop a marble pedestal, is an ornate crystal box with what looks to be a small humanoid skull floating within.
Sounds safe.
Solana will turn back and say, "Hey guys, it's a skull room. There's a box with a skull in it."
And what else?
And another sarcophagus thing.
do we really need to go in there?
We could get more masks.
Do you
We
want
need, to,
mine?
we need to find where to use this key that we got in the last coffin room.
I suspect we will come upon that in due time.
I have a feeling this place is really big.
If there are 9 golds buried here, and this is only the second, I think we have a long way to go.
So do you guys want to bother with this room, or should we keep looking?
I still want to go the north path and see what's down there. You know, just take a look.
Okay,
Yes.
head north then.
Alright.
As the party continues along their northern direction, as you start to get a little closer to it, as you guys start moving forward, Devine, you're the first one to notice this, standing in front of the hallway in front of you. There is a large, all along the sides and the ceilings, everywhere in this hallway you've just turned into, there are carved birds depicted as soaring through the air on these walls. Right in front of you, about 10-20 feet, there is a large metallic propeller with 5 sharp blades.
This was not a good choice. Let's back out.
So as
Alright.
you're standing there, Devaney, within the hallway, you can see the propeller is starting to wind up and start spinning faster and faster.
It definitely starts to back up.
As you back out, you watch as it starts to slow, eventually stopping.
Hmm.
And she thinks, well, can't do anything. I don't have my crowbar anymore. That would come in handy. Well, we're narrowing down our options.
Seems like good choices all around.
Still feel uneasy about those gargoyles, but that's, I mean,
Either that, or we want to investigate the sarcophagus we passed to the east.
yeah, then there's still that grate that led into that sewer. I don't know.
Devaney, you are in love with the great.
I'm just keeping the options open. I mean, I don't really care for the idea of going down into dirty water and my boots will get wet. But we gotta find what we came for somehow.
I mean, you don't exactly look the cleanest right now, so just say it.
It's become a habit, I guess. Blood, muck.
Builds character. It's alright.
I'll take your word for it.
Falls to the party, what are you doing?
Do we want to try this room?
I mean,
I think we might have to, in order to find out what the next step is.
Good idea. Why don't you go ahead?
So Laren kind of gives Esparta a little, like, dark glare after that comment.
Oh, did I
And
say
he-
something?
He approaches the this face carved in the stone here, and he just starts out by sticking his arm in, just kind of cautiously, just to.
Seems to go right in, right back out.
And then he'll do the same with his head and just kind of peek to both sides.
See some moss, some decaying vines. Pull your head back out.
All right. So he's steeled his nerves enough, and he's just gonna take a step through, and he's gonna investigate for traps just in the surrounding area as he does so.
Oh, okay. So as you step through into the next room, and it's not so much a step through. I mean, the hole is open enough that a medium creature can get through it. So you sort of like worm your way through as you're...
Okay.
And as you're checking for traps, as you manage to get about halfway through, you notice that the lower jaw is hinged. But you managed to step through without a problem.
Okay.
Devaney, Solana, Esparta, and Paddle, you all notice the second his body is through, the flame in the right eye disappears.
Ooh, alright. Well, that's an issue.
Well, I'll shout back through the edifice to the party that I saw the jaw was hinging as I moved through. So be cautious before heading inside.
maybe maybe it closes after so many people are through.
Oh,
Do you see any way to get out of the room besides the statue face?
Let me check. So I'll.
Solaren, as Devaney's speaking with you, all of a sudden you hear in your mind, what's happening? Why can't I see anything?
As I hear that, I will use Eldritch Sight again in the room.
Oh, okay. So as you're looking out through the room, let's see here. You see, you get a glow coming from within the sarcophagus itself. Looks to be long and cylindrical, maybe a staff or quarterstaff, something of that nature. As you're looking at behind it, you can see a crystalline box with a floating skull within. Let's see here. And with that one, I'm not. You can definitely getting a sense of magic from the crystalline box with the skull floating in it, but it is rapidly fluctuating, so it's hard to get. Like, it's not one specific school of magic.
Okay.
You can see there are various different schools that play here. It's hard to be to get 100% a read on what's like. You can't just pick one out.
Okay.
There's probably a little bit of necromancy, a little bit of abjuration, a little transmutation, maybe a little conjuration. You know,
All right.
somebody went through a whole lot of work to keep that skull in that box. And okay, and you said so. And you were. So what were you doing after Devaney had spoken with you, and then you heard that in your mind?
Yeah. So I sensed the magic in the room, and Devaney was asking me if there was another way out. So I'll just
Okay, go ahead.
cautiously.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just cautiously like kind of walk the wall and see if I can find any secret
okay.
doors or anything like that.
So go ahead and make an investigation check. Okay. So as you're looking, you do actually find an exit door on the northern wall. As you're poking around.
And I will, I'll just run back to the edifice and shout through to the party. Yes, Devaney, I found there's a secret door here. There's another way out.
And Esparta, you entered the room as well?
Yeah, just
Maybe
I was getting
before-
impatient by
Before
Solarian's
you go through,
descriptions.
The second
stick something in the hinge so it doesn't close.
the second light has gone out of the eye.
I'll
It is now both eyes are dark as Esparta has entered the room with Solaren.
Can I put my quarterstaff into the jaws and try and hold it open?
You can certainly try to.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, I could toss a couple of pitons, or
Is that
however
a-
you say that word, through to maybe that would work.
So go ahead and make an intelligence check, Devaney.
There it is.
Wood quarterstaff, metal pit, and either one should work fine.
I'm gonna hand some metal through. I'll give him 4. Just sort of toss them through. Hopefully, it doesn't activate the. Unless you have some, I don't know.
No. No, the quarterstaff was the best. I didn't want to surrender my dagger, so.
Good plan. I'll sort of just toss him through without getting my fleshy bits in the mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll quickly gather them and kind of space them out evenly through the jaws to try and hold them
Okay.
open.
As you're doing that in the background, why can't I see anything? Who's there? Are you friends of my father's? Esparta, you're now hearing this as well.
Ah. And who is your father?
You weren't sent to look for me? What about my mother?
Perhaps. I am looking for many things. Including, small things like yourself.
Who are you guys talking to?
I can help you, but you'll have to help me first.
I have no idea.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me. Okay. So as we'll jump back into the room with you and Celerin in a moment. What are the three of you remaining out in the hallway doing? As Celerin has now taken all four of those and sort of wedged them in at various points around the lower jaw.
I'm staying the hecky away from that thing.
We really should be on one side or the other. You know, I don't know if I ever got your name.
Well, paddle will work.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Paddle.
Uh,
I'm Devonay.
Pleasure's all mine. Anyways, so there were flames in there, and then there weren't. And two people went in, and then the two lights went out, so I'm not going in there. Come back up.
Well, they found another entrance, so we can get out again. But
This sounds like bad news bears.
I really don't want to go through the hallway with the spinning blades. I have bad memories of spinning blades. So, it's a story for later.
Yeah, maybe when we're not, like, you know.
Yeah. So, well, we could wait here and see how they do. I mean, I
If they get trapped, there's always the sewer. We can go in there. I'm fine with it. Don't know about you.
well, they did find another way out. It's just if they leave and we're over here and we're separated. And I mean, I'd rather have all my friends fighting beside me.
Oh, you consider me a friend, alright. Well, this is lovely.
Well, we gotta be on the same team at least.
True enough. I mean, if things go bad in there, alright, maybe I'll help. That's all I can offer.
Well, the other question is, would Devonay even fit?
Yeah, it's
Through the
big enough
hole,
for
there's-
it's big enough for a human to get through.
All right, wouldn't be that tough. Well, I don't know. If you go, I'll go through.
Alright, well, that's not exactly the proposition I was thinking of, being a little bit of a coward, but alright. Can we just maybe wait a little bit first? See how it goes in there with them?
I guess so. I guess so. Devaney is, while she's waiting, going to don some armor. I think it would be the splint armor that she would start to put on.
Oh, okay. So is you guys now? Do you guys think would Solana be staying out there with you, Devaney, or would Solana be following the other two in?
It's hard to say.
Thinking probably staying out by you only because she's been with Devaney the longest.
True enough.
But so that means we pop back into our other two within the sarcophagus room. So after putting these metal spikes in the different spots on the hinges, what would you two be doing next?
Solaren is just going to approach the sarcophagus. Not going to touch it yet. He's just going to like look, inspect the lid. Like, is there cracked open like the previous one?
Yeah, it looks, you can see it plainly. It's got the same sort of seam around the lid.
Mm-hmm. And that's all I can glean from just looking at it.
Yeah, it looks like it. You think you should be. It looks like the other one. You think you should just be able to open it if you wanted to. As you're looking out there, you start getting. How did I get here? Where am I? Why aren't you answering me?
I hear you, little one. I'm here.
I hear you as well. What are you? Are you
You're-
inside this
You're not
sarcophagus?
alone.
Are you in the room? Where are you?
Go ahead and make a. This. I'll say make this a perception check.
For who? Both of us?
Both of you, yeah. Okay, Solaren, you're really not sure. It's coming from your mind. Esparta, you start to realize when you're hearing the voice in your head, the skull within the crystal box is turning to look at you.
Ah. I think I see you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Why can't I see you? Where are you? I can't see anything.
You have to keep calm for me, little one. We'll get you to your father.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
That sounds scary.
Okay. Is that Solaren, what are you doing? As you're starting to watch Esparta seems to be moving and almost directing her conversation to this skull.
Yes. So I notice Esparta approaching the skull, but I just kind of watch from where I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's.
I want to reach out again to the skull and try and talk to her, and I want to use the nat 20 for this evening.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
And what are you saying to her?
I'm saying to her, why don't you You're not alone here, and I can help you. As I step forward a little more, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Will I get to see my father soon?
Yes, my dear, yes.
And what about Grandma Napek?
Everyone, they're all waiting for you. They're all so worried and very excited to see you.
How much longer do I have to wait?
Not too much longer now.
Okay, I can wait.
That's my cat.
And you feel that sort of presence it's been pushing into your mind sort of recede somewhat.
Sparta turns to Solaren and says, "Well, finish up."
What are you suggesting? That I open the sarcophagus?
Do whatever you want to do. I don't care.
I'm finished here.
Okay, so as Solaren says that, we jump back outside to Devaney, Paddle, and Solana. At this point, Devaney, you've just about got the splint mail all sort of fastened up on yourself.
It's also probably a little gross because we probably got it off somebody. So she's Siren's trying to scrape a lot of that off as she goes, but standing up, adjusting everything, and going over and looking through the mouth. Have you guys opened it yet?
I'm waiting for Solaren to.
Why am I the one who has to open it?
Because
more than
you're
capable.
sitting on it.
Why don't you do it together?
Solana will sort of turn and look at Devaney. Do I need to do it?
Solana, I think they can. They just need to agree to work together.
I think it's safe, Solana. You have nothing to worry about.
It's a team building exercise. Don't worry about it.
I think with you talking with the skull and calming down that disembodied spirit, I think that's everything that we need from here. We might just be inviting more danger if we open this up.
Well, we're in the belly of danger now, aren't we?
The last sarcophagus wasn't bad. I even got a shiny ring!
Right, so be it. I'll approach the sarcophagus. Well, are you just gonna stand there? You're gonna help me.
Fine. I'll stand beside him and will help.
Try to push.
Okay, so whichever one you want, you can make an athletics check with advantage.
Alright, looks like they made a breakthrough.
Both of us, or either one of us? You said?
Either one. So you two can discuss whoever wants. You can make that check.
I'm not very strong. I have very shallow nail beds.
Solaren just shrugs and gives it a try.
Oh, move out of the way.
Oh.
As Solaren, as you are trying to move this with all your might, after Esparta saying shallow nail beds, I'm weak, I'm frail, comes over and just flips it off like it's not even there.
Solaren just kind of holds his head down and is like,
Oh.
And with that, you both see within. It appears to be a bundle of faded cloth. Excuse me. A bundle of faded cloth is wrapped around something laying within. On top of this bundle of cloth, you see a long wooden staff that appears to have a snake's head carved at the top of it.
Oh, Bartha's interested in that.
Solaren takes the staff.
Well,
Okay, immediately upon touching the staff, you see green smoke starts billowing out the end of the staff in front of you. starts coiling around Celerin's arm, looking almost serpentine, wrapping its way around his throat, up around the side of his head. And Celerin, quietly in your ear, you hear, "Let me help you. I promise to be good." And I need you to make a charisma saving throw. Assuming you are not going to let... this
Yeah,
thing
I'm
help
gonna
you.
try and resist this.
Okay, let's see here. Jump over. Okay, where... Okay, as you hear this voice push into your mind, then you hear, "Oh, so sad." And the voice fades. As you watch, Espartha, you standing right there, as you watch as this green smoke just disappears.
Ah, well, thank you for saving me the trouble.
Staff is yours if you want it. Be my guest.
Oh, you do not want it?
You saw what just happened.
Hmm. Interesting.
You take it if you like.
What did you... I think not. I see you've got some dirt on it. That looks like it belongs to you now.
Good.
Okay, so as Solana would have seen all of this happen, Solana looks like she might be a little interested in the staff.
Oh dear.
Solana, I see your eyes over there. Come here, pet.
Why don't you guys come out now that you've picked it up? Just, out.
But there is a pathway here. Isn't that interesting to you?
We might have gone down this other way and not through the mouth with the jaws that might, close and then...
Yeah, I've already lost one arm. I don't want to chance it with the other one.
Well, if the jaws close and we come out, we might not be able to get back inside again. We don't know what's down this tunnel.
But do we need to go that way?
I don't know.
I'm not going in.
Solana?
Solana looks at the group of you. Somebody make a choice!
Solana, if you want the staff, I guess go in and I'll, try to hold open the mouth just in case, along with the metal pieces.
If that's the case, I'd be willing to help.
Well, from where I'm standing, through this tunnel, I can see stairs and what looks like water. At the bottom of those
Well
stairs.
then, I guess maybe we should try. So if Solana's gonna go through, that's what I'm gonna do, is try to hold
Okay.
hold the mouth open.
Then we will let fate decide. We'll roll a D100. 1 to 50. She stays. 51 to 100. She's going. She's like going, I don't know. Devaney, you're strong. Why don't you go first?
Well, I was gonna try to hold the mouth opening so it doesn't close while you guys go through, as I'm strong. I can. Well, I might be able to get through after. Maybe.
Do you want me to try?
Sure.
Alright.
Can I see through the eye sockets, or are they just black?
Oh, they're just black. They're recessed. They're not hollow.
Okay.
So as you look at them, you can just see there's just no flame right now. As Paddle comes walking up, Solana's looking between the two and looking, sort of craning her head a little bit, trying to look in, see where Slaren's walking off to.
Great. I'm gonna try my best to kind of like scoot on through as fast as I can.
Okay, so it's easy enough, especially with your size. You can just sort of leap through it, almost. And as you do, immediately you start to hear the hinges on the jaw trying to close.
Yeah, alright. You guys are right. It's trying to close, so it's do or die.
Solana, go!
So as you hear, as Paddle manages to leap through, and you hear all of a sudden, due to the numerous little metal shards you have shoved into it. Let's see here. Where did I? Okay. Where's my thingy? There it is. Okay. Okay. As you hear a crunch and one of the pitons shatters within the jaw. There's still 3 remaining holding it at the moment.
I'm now yelling at Solana to go through
Okay.
before it.
Solana spends her action wiggling her way through. And again, it manages to crunch down. And as Solana... okay, do me a favor, Devaney. Roll a D100 for me.
As soon
Okay,
as Solana's through, Devaney would like to Misty step to the other side.
Okay. So
Just as long as she can see to the other side.
Yep. So as Solana just manages to get her foot through, and then Devaney, as you cast Misty Step, you feel something wrench. And to the rest of you, Devaney is gone. You watched as well. Actually, I won't say for Spartan and Solaren. You guys probably didn't notice this as you were walking up front, but Paddle and Solana would both see this as Devaney gave a little flourish with her hand, and you watched as she vanished in this silvery cloud that you've both seen Quen do before. And usually pops up a couple of seconds later within a few feet. Devaney's just gone. Click the red button.
Goodness.
Can I ask you a quick favor? Devaney and Paddle, can you both reconnect your cameras for me?
Sure, your camera just disappeared.
Yeah, because I was silly and hit a wrong button.
I see.
And I really quick have to find where Devaney just ended up.
I'm interested.
I just can't. Where is? Oh my word! I know exactly what I'm looking for. I just can't remember where it is on the map. Bear with me a couple of seconds. Down here. Oh. Really? Okay, let me just make sure that my memory is serving me right, and then I am going to stick. Let me just make sure of one thing here. Okay. Yeah, so Devaney, and give me a second, so I'm gonna grab all of you guys. So keep in mind the rest of you are not actually here. But okay, copy. Okay, so you four, we're just gonna stick over in this corner here. Then we're gonna drop you here, and then shift ping. Okay. So Devaney, as you cast your spell and attempt to teleport into join your friends, you find yourself in a room half filled with piles of parts of decaying bodies.
Lovely.
Legs, heads, chests, just rotting away. Protruding from the north wall is a large green devil's face. Its flared nostrils set just above the putrescent mass. A single sconce above its head holds a flickering torch.
I look up. Do I see anything?
You see a solid ceiling.
Well, this is slightly morbid, and I just had a bath. I have blood on my boots. I am going to go and do my check to see if I can find any secret doors.
Okay.
Because, and then I'm going to, after that, if I don't find anything, maybe take a look at the face.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see much other than piles of bodies.
I
As
do
you
have
s-
advantage on secret door checks now, just if that makes a difference.
Nope.
Okay.
Still see piles of bodies.
I'm
So
gonna make
as
my
you
way
start
over to the
looking
face.
around, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
As you start to feel something pulling at you.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see here. As you're getting pulled closer, you see that there is something in the mouth of the jaw.
Is it by any chance familiar?
You might say that. This feels to be much stronger, though.
Uh-oh.
As you're starting to get a little closer, you do see, as you're getting close to the statues, you're still being pulled towards this gullet. You, looking up into the face of this as you're being pulled closer, you can see within the nostrils, set up inside the nasal cavity, there seemed to be a stone lever. One on the left, one on the right.
They look exactly the same.
Yep.
Hmm. That really doesn't help. I don't know which one I should pull. If either. Because last time we weren't supposed to pull the lever. How fast am I getting pulled toward the...
You just get a very slight. It's not enough that you're actually physically being pulled towards it. It's just a very slight pull to it. You don't know if for some reason it's not... You're really not 100% sure why you can even feel it. But you definitely get some sort of pull towards the maw of this, the gullet of this thing. As you're looking around the room, you can see that's the only thing you notice.
Do any of these bodies in here have armor, clothing? I mean, anything that suggests that they were previous adventurers in here?
Go ahead and make a perception check. So as you're looking at them, you don't see a lot of armor or weapons or things of that nature. What you're typically seeing is it looks like almost like funeral clothing. Like you're seeing people, some that look like they're wrapped in shrouds, some that look like they're in their Sunday best. You get the impression looking at these that these aren't corpses of adventurers.
Why would they be here?
As you're looking at the corpses and starting to poke around a little bit, you start to see in the southwestern corner, the pile of bodies starts to move.
Down? Up?
No, it looks like there's something underneath them that's trying to push its way to the surface.
I'm going to back away and see what comes up, I guess.
Okay. So as you're sort of backing away towards the room, after a couple of seconds, you watch as this... Let me see. I have a good image to show the folks at home. Of course not. Why would I have one already pre-pulled for us? I'm just gonna... Yeah, come on over here. Okay. so for the folks at home, this is what Devaney is taking a look at right now. So as you start watching, all of a sudden coming out of the bodies, this long serpentine-looking tendril with 3 eyes on it starts to peek up and peer around the room. Then as it continues to push its way out, see another long tendril come out. Then a massive toothy maw as it
I know
starts
what
to
that
climb
is.
on top of the body.
Oh dear. I'm gonna keep my distance. I don't like the look of that thing.
And as it's looking around and the 3 eyes peering through the room, and all of a sudden you see it notices you.
No.
The one vertical creature in a sea of corpses.
The freshest meat.
And with that, I need you to go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay, dokie. Good thing I put on that armor.
Oh boy. Matthew's trying to kill Devaney again.
Definitely. Good
I
thing I
didn't
thought
cast the
of the.
spell!
I didn't know. She's trying to get on the other side of a wall.
Okay, so that brings us to the top of the order. And Devaney, that is you.
Well, Devaney does not like this creature because it is looking like it's eating dead things, and she's just gonna go full out ice wall on this thing because she knows that works, or at least she hopes it's gonna work in this area. So she wants to sort of push it into the corner and sort of squish it like she did before.
Okay.
Or not like this one before, but like the other, you
Yeah.
know, in the, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Go ahead and make your roll. Let's see here. Okay, so that's a dexterity save. Makes it save.
Of course it does.
As you try to, and where are you putting the wall?
Let's see if I can draw here. Like that, but close enough so that it definitely runs through the creature.
Oh, okay.
Intention is to block it in, so even if it breaks, it has to go through where the wall was.
Yep. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, so. Okay, anything else you're doing? Moving, or you staying where you are?
I moved over. I'm not sure what the terrain is like here.
It's a little difficult because you're walking over just piles of corpses.
Okay, I moved 10 feet, so
Okay.
that's not too bad. Yeah, just over a little
So,
bit.
as it is now trapped, it is going to make its attacks at one of the 10-foot sections of wall to see if it can get out here. So, first one, let's see, it is a AC 12, 30. Okay, so first one hits. Second one hits. That's okay, so 7, 19. 27. And right as all of a sudden you watch as one of the sections of wall just shatters outward. And it is going to use its movement to exit that area. Do me a favor, go ahead and roll 5d6.
Too many sixes.
It's going to make a Constitution save for going through the cold. What's the DC on your wall again? That was a 17, so it fails that
17.
one. Okay. And that'll end its turn and bring us back to Devonay. So it has made its way out of your wall. You can definitely see there's parts of it that are covered in frost and little chunks of ice, but
Alright, seeing as how that was average at best, I think I'm far enough away that I can throw a fireball at it.
Fireball's a, what, 20-foot radius?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be able to do that.
Yeah, the squares are a little hard to see, so
Yeah.
that's my next
Little hard to find
plan
bodies.
of attack here.
Okay.
It's gonna smell terrible.
Yeah, assuming you all see Devonay again, this is going to be some rank visitation.
You're never gonna want to be by Devonay again.
Yes. So go ahead and make your roll with that. And what's the dex save?
15.
15, okay. 13, so it is going to fail that.
That's a terrible fireball roll. That's why 5 ones.
And Devonay immediately, the room just smells of rotting, burning flesh.
Pre-cooked.
And are you staying where you are? Are you moving?
I don't know. I think I might want to move a little bit, but I don't know because it's a small room. Probably can get me anywhere I move, pretty much. No, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Oh, okay. Let's see, given the difficult terrain, it can only move 15 feet. Let's see if that's enough to get it within range. Yeah, it's enough to get over to you. So it comes charging up, and it's going to make its 3 attacks against you. First one is 23.
That will hit.
So that is 16 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright. I'm just
Okay.
not rolling great tonight. It's like,
So you are now
Roll 20.
poisoned with basically a terminal disease.
Oh,
okay.
So every 24 hours, you must repeat the saving throw. Every time you fail it, you reduce your hit point maximum by 1d10.
Okay.
On a success, you're cured.
Great.
The reduction only lasts until you are cured, though. So if you drop down, let's say 20 hit points, and then you save, your maximum goes back up.
Okay.
So, and then after that, it makes 2 tentacle attacks. First one is a 14.
Nope.
Second one is a 9.
Definitely not.
And that brings us back to Devaney.
Alright, is this thing looking like I actually did some damage to it, or...
It's looking like you've done some damage to it, but you're not seeing it like bleeding really from anything as of yet, but at the same point you've frozen it and burnt it.
Yeah, I haven't really cut it.
Just going to put a little X here to mark the wall that was destroyed. So what you doing, Devaney?
I am thinking, because I don't want to die just yet.
So what we'll do is we'll give Devaney a couple of seconds to think. What would the rest of you be doing back in the room with the sarcophagus? As Solana has just said, where'd Devaney go?
Does this usually happen? I'm guessing not.
No, I don't. No, our other friend used to teleport like that, and Devaney tried to do it, but she just vanished. She's not anywhere.
Oh, she cast a spell. She didn't try to just climb through?
No, she tried to cast that spell that Quen used to do, where Quen would go all silvery and shimmery and then appear like 20 feet away.
Oh.
Yes, it's called the Misty Step. I can use it as well.
Well, let's not have another person disappear.
Do you know any reason why it would cause her to just disappear without any trace?
It might be something to do with where we are.
Should we push ahead or should we stay here? What should we do?
Mm.
I mean,
I
it's
would
not.
say push ahead. I don't really feel like staying here and waiting for whatever is roaming these halls to come and find us.
And if she
Well,
disappeared, then she's somewhere. I hope.
Well, Esparta, you proved earlier that you're the one with the strength and not me, so why don't you lead? I'll step aside.
Sparta looks around at the crew that she has inherited and she says, right, well, I guess it's time we get going. Follow me.
You
so
got it,
we'll
lady.
Jump back up to them in a couple of moments. So Devaney, what you doing? Gonna
I am looking up something because I don't have it written down for some reason. Alright. I'm going to do Otelux Freezing Sphere on the
Alrighty
entire
then.
room. Because it is a big spell.
Yeah, it is.
Since I am not affected by it.
That is a 60-foot radius.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and this is through the ring.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so what's the DC for that?
It'd be 17.
Okay. is going to fail its check. Just go ahead and roll your 10d6.
33.
Oh, he already rolled it. Okay. Okay. So it is still on its feet. You can see it has definitely looked like it's taken some signs of wear, though. Anything else you'd be doing?
I'm going to move a little bit closer to the face. Roll 20, come on. Just
Okay.
over there. And I am going, well, yeah. I'll cast, well, no, I can't yet. Never mind. Never mind.
Okay. So you're just moving
That's it.
there?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's turning to look at you. It's going to make its same 3 attacks at you again. First one's a 13. Don't think that's going to cut it. Next is an 11. Then a 25.
That will hit.
Okay. So you are now grappled as this thing has reached out and slammed one of these tentacles into you. And all of the little barbs on it, it seems that it finds just spots within the splint mail that aren't covered as it wraps around you, and it is now holding you where you are.
Alright.
And that ends its turn. It's back to you.
So it's definitely worn down.
Yeah, you can definitely see it's taken some damage.
So this is, see, I don't remember either. It's just I don't have any movement, right?
So for grappled, your speed is 0.
And,
So you
and
don't
it
get
says
any
restrained
benefits
as well.
of... I'm sorry?
Grappled and restrained until the grapple ends. Yeah.
Yep.
So I can't move
So-
anywhere, but I can still attack.
Right, so grappled, your speed is 0. Restrained is attack rolls against you have advantage. Your attacks have
Okay.
disadvantage. And you have disadvantage on dex saving throws.
Alright. So then... And it's an action to try to break out of the grapple?
That is correct, yes.
Does that do... No, that doesn't. I think I'm... Well, no. Is that... Would that apply just for melee attacks or for spell attacks as well?
It says attack roll, so I would treat it as any attack roll.
Okay. Then I'm... Well, since I'm sitting right in it, I'm gonna do a cone of cold.
Okay.
I mean, I think this thing has a lot of hit points. And my poor little blades, I don't think could do much. Let's see here.
Okay. This is a Constitution save. Okay, it is still on its feet. It is looking rough, though. Anything else you're doing?
Not much else I can do.
Okay.
Kinda stuck.
That is going to start making its attacks against you. First one is a bite, and all 3 of these have advantages. You are still grappled and restrained. So first one is 26.
That definitely
Crit?
hits.
So that is 24 points of piercing damage. You don't need to make the saving throw because you're already diseased.
Got that one covered.
Next one, it's going to wind up as you are still grappled in its tentacle and try to slam you into the stone face on the wall. And that...
It's a Constitution saving throw.
That is really weird, but sure. They want a Constitution save, so Constitution save. Okay.
Roll 20 just is not loving me tonight.
So you take 13 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are now stunned. And
So what does stunning do?
you do nothing. You're just
I'm just
you're
starstruck.
you're just starstruck until its next turn. But it gets makes another attack, so I'm gonna have it make it. It'll give basically it's gonna potentially knock you back out of being stunned. But
Oh.
so I need you to make another Constitution save. As it slams you once and you see the Tweety birds, and it slams you again.
Alright, roll 20, show me some love here.
You have advantage if you want to use it.
Yeah, I think I can't because I didn't say it before, but
Okay, then you are still stunned. So you are now incapacitated until the end of the Odiug's next turn. It cycles back to you as you're stunned. And it's just going to keep wailing on you.
alright.
First one is a 23 to hit.
Yep, hits.
Okay, so that is 16 piercing. Are you still up?
Just barely.
Oh boy.
Okay. Just gonna attempt to slam again. So I need, just go ahead and make 2 Constitution saves.
Okay. Since I can, I would like to use inspiration.
Oh, okay.
It might help, I don't know.
Okay. So you take half damage on it. I'm just gonna... yeah, we're just gonna roll it once then, so it's just 2d6 plus 3. We'll just skip the second roll. Okay, so it's a total of 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Definitely is still up, just barely.
And you are
It's really
not
close.
stunned.
Alright.
Oh my gosh.
Devonay is going to try to break out of this grasp.
It's an action to do it.
I get that, but... Well, what she wants to do is try to go pull one of those levers.
As
I
you're
don't know if she
grappled
can
right
do-
now, it would be an action to pull it. Where you're grappled now, you have access to the right lever. He's been
I'm gonna
slamming
pull
you
the
into
right-
the wall. So
I'm
it's-
gonna pull the right lever, because otherwise I'm dead.
Okay, so as Devonay, as you are currently grappled by this thing, and it is just biting on you, and the tentacle is lining up and slamming you repeatedly into this wall. As it slams you once and it leaves you crushing against the wall for a second, you sort of half glance up and barely staring up the nostril of this strange green face on the wall. With what energy you have left, reaching up and pulling down on the lever. Immediately within the room, everything is covered in this bright, glowing red light. And then with a flash, we'll end for this week and find out what happens next time.
No!
As the lights have turned red in the figure's eyes.
Ah.
And with a flash, we'll find out what happens to Devaney and the Otiug next week.
That's not.
That's
It is
cool.
fair, but
But-
dang it.
And next week we will start off with our other compatriots at first, as while this has all been going on and it's probably only been about a minute or so,
Yeah.
our other members are apparently going to be taking a walk at some point. So before we disappear for tonight, though, I want to again remind people next week, wow, don't mind me, I'm delusional, don't know what day of the month or year it is. Tomorrow we have Tomb of Annihilation. Bloody hell.
Whee!
It's Monday and this is throwing me for a loop here. Tomorrow, Tabletop Legends, their first show. Less than 24 hours, massive giveaways, great cast. Their promos have been a lot of fun. Definitely check them out. I'm going to be there hanging out for a while. I know Michael, our DM from Friday, is going to be there. There's a whole bunch of us who are going to be hanging out in chat, talking with people as their stream's going on. So definitely swing by if you got the time. If you hang out for the whole stream, hey, you might be the one to win that massive collector's bundle with the artwork from Hydro 74. So, before we take off for the evening, there's something we got to discuss. Nat 20 for next time. What does our chat think? What do our players think? Who do you want to award that Nat 20 to?
Devaney, she's gonna need it.
I might.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm gonna end up. I don't know if
Doesn't
I'm
know.
dead.
I don't know what happens. All we
Yeah,
know
we
is
don't.
that next initiative count, it's the Otiog's turn, because that was our action to yank on that lever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hope it did something good.
Boy.
I mean, I'll take it, guys.
Okay, so we will give the Nat 20 to Devaney for next week. So make sure to tune in, be here right at the start, as this is good. We know Devaney's looking to be in some rough shape. He's going against a massive creature right now. And unfortunately, the party has no idea where she is. So it'll be interesting when we come back here. And next time, don't forget, folks, when you're staring down the barrel of a chomping skull trap and you're debating whether or not to just dive through or to attempt casting a brand new teleportation spell you've never used before, make that Arcana check first, and don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. See you next week, folks.